Let's talk about Bless Online, shall we? More precisely, if we should buy the game or not, or if I should buy the game in the first place or not. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, I still didn't buy the game because I wasn't really into this whole idea of paying more just to have a 2 days head start for a game that isn't really competitive. So I decided I would wait for its normal release, and on top of that, my credit card was expired, so even if I wanted to buy it early, I still couldn't. So anyway, what I learned in the past 2 days, I was going to buy the game yesterday, but after seeing what was released for it in terms of content on YouTube and the comments and the comments on Steam, and basically overall what the community has to say about the game, I'm not sure if I still want to buy it in its current state with all of its issues and the poor implementation of it on our version, I suppose. So I'm quite late, I believe, to the Bless Online discussions. This video is just simply going to be my opinion of its current state, and it's just simply a discussion video. You already saw probably quite a few other Bless Online content creators talking about them. So yeah, stick around if you want to. The short answer is don't buy the game now, just wait a couple of weeks until they fix the current issues in the game, and if then they are, let's say, to some extent fixed, then you can buy the game. If not, then just simply stick to whatever you're already playing, because the game as it is at the moment, it's not really worth buying. Let me begin this discussion by saying that I am probably one of those a lot of people who actually were looking forward to the Bless Online release, and I was actually hoping the game would succeed because I really needed to have a new experience in terms of MMO, and overall just simply have a new game that I can enjoy and move on from my current MMO, which is Black Desert, to Bless Online, and have this one become my new time sink where I would pretty much waste time whenever I want to forget about my real life issues, like most of us do. I was going to overlook quite a lot of issues that the game has, like the visuals not really being that good. As some people said, it's like they ported a mobile game to the PC, and also the combat, which is nothing stellar. They said they would make the combat more action type combat, but in the end it turns out they didn't really do much to change it. And overall, besides that, I didn't know much about the game. I never looked into the other versions of Bless that were released in the past, so for me personally it was just simply like I just heard about the game, I never knew of its existence, and I only knew that it had some subpar combat and subpar graphics. Besides that, I was hoping the game would actually turn out to be pretty good, but in the end, after its release, turns out they didn't really change much of its existing issues, and they probably have some new issues that were not talked about in the past, maybe. What I know so far is what I learned on the past 2 days, and that is, first off, if the visuals are so bad, or let's say average, the game doesn't look extraordinary. So why does the game have to have FPS issues? That's what I don't understand. I know the game was made in Unreal Engine 3, but still, for a game that looks like it could be developed for a mobile platform, you would expect it to at least run at very high performance. Turns out that's not really the case. The game crashes quite a lot, and on top of that, even if you have a high-end system, you're still never going to get 60 FPS, which kind of bugs me. As I said already, if you have a game that doesn't look that good, why cannot it run at high performance? These are issues that probably will be fixed in the coming months, but at the moment they were not addressed, and to be honest, I was expecting the game to run better. The developers said the game would run better, that they did optimize it, but turns out they didn't. On top of that, some more issues that I learned about is that the translations are not really good at all. It's not really that important. I mean, we can overlook the translations because those as well can be fixed in the coming patches. It's just simply a matter of changing text. But what I personally can't really overlook is the fact that the combat was not really changed much, if anything was changed at all. So the combat is not really that exciting. And on top of that, turns out the game was released with a marketplace exploit bug in the game. An exploit that was already existent in previous versions and it was patched on those, and yet on our version they had to release it with the exploit in, and apparently there is also an item duplication exploit. So issues that I can't really see why they had to be implemented on the release date. Overall, most people say that the game is bad. If you look at reviews, if you look on YouTube, on Steam, wherever you want, people are going to say that the game is bad and that it's not really worth your money, and to some extent I have to agree with that. Even though I didn't play the game, I can see where they come from and why they are making those claims. For a game that was just released 2 or 3 days ago, it shouldn't have these many issues. When I looked on Steam, I believe yesterday or 2 days ago, it had a 39% rate. It was 39% of positive comments and the rest was negative. Then it kind of evolved into 47% or whatever it is now. I guess it's getting somewhat better, but still, let's assume that all of these problems get fixed in the coming patches, so let's give them about 1 month. Will they fix all of the exploits? Will they fix the game crashes? Will they make it run at least 60 FPS? For most of us, the game doesn't have that complicated graphics, so you would expect to get 60 FPS even on, I guess, medium systems. The translations can easily be fixed if they actually put time into it. So what are my current thoughts about the game? I must say I'm happy in a way that I didn't buy it 2 days ago, because I think I'm just simply going to wait a couple more days or maybe a week or two and then try out the game if it gets fixed. I still want to play it. I mean, that void of having a new MMO still has to be filled by something, so if I don't play Bless Online, I will have to play something else. I recently watched a video from Pian, also talking about Bless, but also talking about Guild Wars 2, so I might look into Guild Wars 2 if I don't play Bless Online, but I really hope that on the coming weeks they address these issues and at least fix the most relevant ones, like the exploits and the problems with the crashes, the FPS issues and so on. Also, let's not forget that apparently the game was released without even having most, if any, of its endgame content into the game. So you get to max level and you don't really have much to do. Maybe it will be added in the coming weeks, I hope so, but still. So what is the conclusion for most of you? I would say if you didn't buy the game yet, then just don't buy it. Wait for a couple of weeks to see where they take it with the current issues, and if they manage to fix some of them, just follow your favorite YouTubers or whoever posts the updates about the game to see what changes, and if you did buy the game, then at the very least you can refund it. You can find a video in the description talking about that. It was made by Pian. I saw a couple of videos about Bless, I will link them in the description, and that's about it. For me personally, I will just wait a couple of days, as I said, to see more news about the game, but eventually I think I will end up buying it, just simply to have that new fresh MMO experience. I think at the moment Bless Online only appeals to 2 types of people. Those who are very desperate and really need to have a new MMO experience and would play the game either way, whether it turns out to be good or bad, or maybe they want it just simply because it's a hot topic at the moment. Or the second case where let's say that most of your guildies or your real life friends migrate to playing this game, in which case you would play Bless Online just simply to hang out with your friends and overall be in that community, not really to play the game for its content. Besides those, I'm not sure who else would want to play a game that is so broken, especially when at the moment there are a lot more better options out there. For example, as I stated, Pian talked recently about Guild Wars 2, and after seeing the video myself, I might give the game a try because I never played Guild Wars 2 either, and I never got into it because I personally don't like to start games that are already old, but maybe I will. So yeah, that's about all that I have to say. I don't want to make this video longer than it has to be. Thanks for watching. If you made it this long, I hope I at least gave you some insight, I guess, into my current opinion about the game. I'm pretty sure most of these issues will be fixed sooner or later, because as a company I'm pretty sure they don't want the game to die that fast. So yeah, again, thanks for watching. I will see you guys in a different video, and bye bye.